Hello folks, and welcome back to Mod of the Month, where we showcase some of the best builds completed over the last month over in the BitTech forums. Up for grabs is a 16GB kit of Vengeance Pro RGB memory, a choice in white or black LL120 fans, or a Lighting Node Pro. As ever, if you want to get involved, all you need to do is post up a completed project log over on the BitTech forums. Enjoy the builds.
A huge congratulations first goes out to last month's joint winners, Alita Battle Angel Laptop Mod Japan Edition by Random2K4 and Project Midnight by Twister7800 GTX. Both projects were decidedly different, each operating at different ends of the sizing scale and to completely distinct themes. The things they did have in common, however, were superlative execution and popularity in the forums, with both scooping up the top vote counts. Now let's take a look at this month's contenders. Project Delta by SA Mod PC Design is an all-out homage to the classic World Rally Championship Lancia team from the late 80s and early 90s. Starting with the Cooler Master C700P chassis, he decked it out to fit the iconic Martini Racing colours, meaning plenty of white, red and blue dotted all over. The chassis itself was painted white, with additional shrouds constructed from acrylic that help keep the interior looking clean and organised. The cooling is handled by a dual loop system, with the CPU sporting blue coolant and the GPU red. Further accents and sponsor details were added throughout, as were custom cables, lighting, and of course a model of the Lancia Delta HF Integrale that the build is themed around. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a collaboration work between Mayhem Mods and Twister Mod. Based in Fantech's huge and very expensive Enthoo Elite, the modders delved into the game's theme by turning the exterior into an ancient Mayan structure. This was accomplished via clever use of laser etching to create a textured surface, which was then painstakingly painted over in order to provide an authentic look. The paintwork was finished up with careful flocking to give the impression of having been lost to nature hundreds of years ago. Inside, they went for a very different aesthetic, however, opting instead for a clean dual loop setup with minimal fuss. Neat tubing routes and clean 90-degree bends are the order of the day, and green being the colour of choice. The high-spec nature of this build is seen to by plenty of radiator room and a lot of cooling potential. Quasar by Ali Abbas, also known by his modding moniker The Creator, is inspired heavily by classic sci-fi spaceship designs. Ali looked to the Star Trek, Star Wars and Warhammer 40k universes for design cues that he could work into his own concept. Ali is known for his fervent belief in only using handwork construction methods, meaning no lasers, 3D printers or CNCs, in his competition work. This, however, not being a competition piece, meant that he used a number of different techniques to add all the detailing. The bulk of the structure is still plywood as we're used to him, but is augmented with clever uses of household items and computer components to add detail. Trick: spot the golf ball radio receivers and the PCIe connector windows. Appropriate lighting was added throughout to give the impression that this spaceship was actually in use, along with a detailed paint job that really ties in all the separate parts together. MK3D by Forsberg Customs is an exciting ITX chassis that's almost entirely 3D printed. Working within the confines of the ITX form factor can be hard enough, but having almost every side visible means one needs to get very creative in order to keep things neat and tidy. To tackle this, Niklas made portions of the framework hollow, so that wiring for the fans and lighting and other parts could pass through without being visible externally. This is a great use of 3D printing, as trying to make these sorts of structures via other methods can be particularly difficult or even close to impossible at times. The build is finished up with a 2-layer crackle effect paint job, utilising a copper coloured base coat and a white top layer. He even applied it to the GPU shroud and other parts of the motherboard to make sure it's all nice and consistent. Custom wiring using transparent insulation helps to maintain the theme and really adds to the build. Leave Me Alone by Insolent Gnome might have a truly terrible pun for a name, but it's a fantastic scratch build. Much of the rig is constructed from solid walnut, which is a wonderful warmth to its grain and colour. As per the name, one of the key features is the inlay work, made to look like green leaves embedded within the wooden structure. To achieve this look, Dave carved out the leaf shapes using his router and then added a green luster resin, which was later finished to be flush with the surface. Inside the rig, the structure is largely aluminium. Originally, the plan had been to sandblast the metal parts, but upon testing and reflection, he opted to choose a slightly less conventional route. Instead, using a grinding wheel, Dave added a wispy pattern to the metal surface, which fits closely with the organic theme of the build, resembling sort of blades of grass almost. The build is finished up with some wonderfully creative cable work, taking an organic curve along the side of the motherboard and continuing to the rear, keeping everything impeccably clean and organised. Remember folks, if you'd like to have a chance of taking part in a future Mod of the Month yourself, all you need to do is post a completed project log over on the BitTech forums. And of course, if you're into all things PC modding and hardware, don't forget to subscribe to the channel whilst you're here. You can also find us over on Facebook, Instagram, Discord and builds.gg. Take care everyone, and we'll see you next time.